2 little words. That's all it took from Donald Trump to light the fuse on the biggest royal scandal in years. Right now, as you're watching this, Trump is seated beside King Charles at a glittering banquet table, worth more than most people's homes. And outside, London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, left standing in the cold, furious, completely locked out of the circle of power. But here's the twist no one expected. And if you want the full breakdown of how this confrontation exploded, make sure to hit subscribe. Because what I'm about to show you goes way deeper than the headlines. The moment Air Force One lands at Heathrow, the atmosphere changes. Press surges forward, cameras snap non-stop. Security fences stretch for blocks. This isn't a normal state visit. This is political theater in its purest form. First question shouted at Trump. Mr. President, how's your relationship with London's mayor? Trump doesn't hesitate. Cold as ice. Sadiq Khan is a nasty person who's failed London. The words hit like thunder. Within minutes, social media detonates. Nasty Khan rockets to the top of global trends. News anchors scramble, cutting into broadcasts just to replay the clip. But while everyone's obsessing over the insult, they're missing the real story unfolding behind palace gates. Khan's response. Predictable. Within hours. He's on every network: BBC, CNN, Sky, repeating the same message. Trump is divisive. Trump is dangerous. Trump is everything wrong with politics. From City Hall, Khan declares, London is open. We welcome everyone. Our city thrives on tolerance and diversity. It sounds noble. It sounds strong. But reality on London's streets tells a harsher truth. Knife crime just hit a 5-year peak. 17 teenagers stabbed to death in only 6 months. The underground crippled by strikes. Families pushed out of neighborhoods they've lived in for generations because of soaring rent. And yet, Khan's office, still busy watching Trump's Twitter feed. So when Trump brands Khan nasty, something surprising happens. Instead of outrage, more and more Londoners quietly nod. Not because they're Trump fans, far from it, but because his words ring true. And while Khan wages battles on social media, Trump is welcomed inside Windsor Castle with royal pageantry rarely seen. Picture the scene. Golden light across the oldest occupied castle in the world. Carriages rolling over cobblestones, worn by centuries of history. And there's Trump not as a political firebrand, but as the honored guest of King Charles III. The optics are brutal. Khan, sweating in TV studios, defending his record. Trump, drinking wine with kings. Palace insiders even whisper that Charles found Trump refreshingly direct. No polished talking points. No diplomatic jargon. Just straight talk on trade, defense, and the future of the alliance. Meanwhile, Khan's approval ratings collapse, barely 31%. Labour MPs distance themselves. Even his allies admit he's become a liability. At the royal banquet, the contrast is complete. Trump and Charles discuss billions in trade deals, joint defense projects, cultural ties. Khan, not invited, not even considered. And businesses are taking note. Goldman Sachs shifts a $2 billion project out of City Hall negotiations straight to the national level. JP Morgan's expansion talks move from London councillors to embassy officials. The message couldn't be clearer. If you want serious business in Britain, you don't talk to Khan. But Khan tries to spin it as a moral victory. He posts photos of diverse crowds, tweets about London's openness. But diversity doesn't lower knife crime. Tolerance doesn't reduce housing costs. Tweets don't fix broken transport. Westminster insiders admit it's embarrassing. One cabinet member confides, the mayor of London can't even command respect at home. Meanwhile, Trump gets treated like royalty. The protests tell the same story. Yes, some signs slam Trump. But louder chants demand Khan resign. Demand safety, demand leadership. Khan has become the poster child of modern progressive politics. All performance, no results. Under his watch, youth unemployment climbs. Businesses relocate. Tourism complaints skyrocket. But hey, his Twitter engagement is up. Trump's team, by contrast, is executing a masterclass in optics. Every handshake, every photo op, drives home the message. Real leaders work with real partners. Watch Trump at Windsor relaxed, confident, completely unfazed by Khan's words. He isn't worried about the mayor of London. He's busy cutting deals with kings. And markets are reacting. British funds increase their US investments. London. Hedge funds open New York offices. Companies pivot westward. Because markets follow. Power, and right now, power flows through Washington and Windsor, not City Hall. Khan still tries to compare London to New York, tries to style himself as a global leader. But it falls flat. You can't be taken seriously on the world stage when your city can't deliver basic safety and affordability. And then there's the monarchy. Charles represents tradition, stability, continuity. Everything Khan claims to move beyond. Yet Charles embraces Trump warmly, while Khan is left out of every major diplomatic event. That's the lesson of this visit. Institutions rooted in tradition command more respect than flashy progressive experiments. Quiet competence beats loud activism. As Trump boards Air Force One, he leaves behind a shaken political landscape. Khan looks diminished. Parliament looks detached. And the monarchy looks stronger than ever. The real question isn't whether Trump was right to call Khan nasty. It's why it took an American president to say out loud what so many Britons already believe. This isn't just about one insult. It's about the collapse of a political vision that promised progress but delivered decline. It's about the widening gap between words and results. It's about how power is shifting away from those who argue on Twitter toward those who actually govern. So what do you think? Was Trump right about Khan? And what does this say about the direction British politics is heading? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. And if this opened your eyes to the deeper game playing out behind the headlines, hit subscribe. Because trust me, the story of how power really works in 2024 is only getting started.